You are listening to Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. I am your host, Shanel Scott. I'm a psychic medium and energy healer who has been supporting those on a spiritual journey for over a decade. I'm your tour guide into the world of the unknown, showing you that the magic of the universe is at your fingertips. I believe spirituality is simple and fun, and this podcast will make it easily accessible, giving you the real talk on all things divine and spiritual, helping you to step into the flow. Manifesting your dreams because we all deserve to be living our best life. Are you ready for an adventure? Hello and welcome to a new episode of Directions from a Spiritual Tour Guides podcast. My name is Shanel Scott and I am your host and your spiritual guide on this tour, this journey we call life, this adventure. Today I wanted to talk about acceptance and believing is seeing, because I feel like those things kind of go hand in hand, and there are two things that have been coming up a lot for me lately. So if they're coming up for me, maybe they're coming up for you too. It's interesting how we allow societal beliefs to form us, and it's normal. We all do it. It's, the way of being. But we get to a point in our lives where we recognize the pieces that society told us we had to be versus the pieces we've told ourselves. And it was interesting that I felt caught up by this recently, and in the spiritual realm. And I think this is why this has come to the surface to talk about today. I had a session, which I never do. I never, ever, ever, or very rarely, book a session with someone else, especially someone I don't know. Typically, I'll do exchanges with other healers and readers that I know, exchanging services and taking care of each other, because that's what we do in community, is we support and take care of each other. But I, out of the blue, and quite short term, I think I saw this on Thursday and the reading was on Saturday. It was a quick turnaround. But I just had this urge to book. And even when they offered me 30 minutes or 60 minutes, I was like, no, I need 60 minutes. I need your time. I need to hear what you have to tell me. And it was so interesting. And the session was everything I needed and more. So I am incredibly grateful to Connie Deletti. She was fantastic and so incredibly helpful. But it was interesting because we really talked about, at one point, this piece of what we perceive as the way it should be and the way that we actually function and feel. And I've not just in this reading with Connie did it come up, but also it's been coming up over the last few months. We learn a skill from somebody and we're told that we have to do it a certain way. And we know that we've got leeway and we can do, our own pieces of it. But at the same time, there's this background noise of societal beliefs that we should follow the rules, that we should behave ourselves and do what we're told and what we're taught. But then there's this piece of us that just wants to be the rule breaker and break free from it all. And, we, in this conversation with Connie, we talked about, she said, guided meditation. I said, guided meditation doesn't often work for me because people don't move fast enough. My brain goes a mile a minute. So to distract it, you also need to go fast enough to keep my soul in check, to keep it moving and not let my brain sneak into the picture or the equation. And she's like, that's totally okay. If it doesn't work for you, there's also probably a majority that it doesn't work for too. And I was like, it felt like somebody gave me permission to talk fast. Because if you've been around here for a while, I talk fast. And I just was like, yeah, wow. And I've been doing this, don't get me wrong. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I teach a true Reiki certification to my students, but I also teach them all sorts of juicy and delicious pieces of energy work that I've learned along the way, things that have served me that aren't necessarily Reiki, but they are there for healing and serving, and so I share them with my students. So I had this like shake up on Saturday about acceptance and authenticity. And I've always tried to show up authentically because I feel like that is so, so important. But in that, I've recognized that there are still parts of me that aren't being authentic because I feel bound by societal rules. That society tells me that I have to be a certain way, that as a spiritual person, I shouldn't swear, and that I should be like all peace and love, and that I should be able to meditate in silence for hours. And let's be honest, that is not me in any of those things. I am loud. I have the mouth of a sailor some days. I think spirituality should be joyful and full of laughter and fun. It should be simple. You know, I wear my Disney gear and I don't always follow the rules. But that's who I am, and that is me. And when I can honor that, I then honor the authenticity of others. I don't have to be able to sit in silent meditation for days to be spiritual. That's not the way that I connect. And I am always hopeful that when I teach spirituality, intuition, healing arts, all of the things, one of the things my students hear me say all the time, and I think it maybe drives them a little crazy, is this piece of what works for you. We are all different. So what works for one person may not work for the next person. And again, this rolls into this piece of who are you authentically? I am not someone who sits on a meditation cushion and sits in silence because it doesn't necessarily work for me. That doesn't make me any less spiritual than the next person who can do that. I have my ways of connecting with spirit, and you have your ways of connecting with spirit, and the next person has ways of connecting with their spirit. And that's what makes us so beautiful and unique and authentic. Now, I wanted to roll this also into believing is seeing, because I think it kind of goes hand in hand. This piece of when we step into our authenticity and we really see that, when we really feel that and we embody that, all of a sudden we're seeing things that we didn't see before. When we fully trust in who we are, we then trickle that out to trust in the universe and for it to deliver the things that we are waiting for it to deliver. So in that, all of a sudden, this innate trust, this unwavering trust creates belief, which then creates the thing that we need to see, hear, feel, that manifestation coming to fruition. If we are not in a place of believing, we cannot create. And it has to start within. Because if we don't believe in who we are, if we don't believe in our self-love and our self-acceptance and our authenticity, then how do we believe in anything outside of us? And yeah, it's a process. It's, got layers and all that good stuff. And it's going to come in layers. But this beautiful place of this unwavering faith, this trust, this stepping into the flow, knowing who we are, of flowing with spirit, having this openness, that is where the magic happens. That is where the seeing happens. It doesn't work the other way around. Yeah, we can fake it until we make it to a certain extent, but I can only see myself as something for so long because if I don't believe in that, if I don't believe that I am that thing, it's never going to work. And maybe that fake it till you make it buffers it just that tiny bit for me to actually believe. But if I don't actually move into that believing place, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So this is like a big one, a deep one, but at the same time, a simple one, an easy one. And you're going to have to find your own way to it because we're all different and we all have to come to it in a different way. So whether you have a psychic, a life coach, a healer, a therapist, you love to do soul work on your own, you have a great online program, I don't care what you use as long as it works for you. And if it's not working for you, honor that and find something that does. Because this transition, this foundation is necessary. It is necessary to create your own fertile ground, to grow the life of your dreams. So figure out who you are. Love who you are selflessly. Just unconditionally love yourself with all your flossomeness. I love that word, flossom. Screw perfect. Perfect is a low vibration word. Yeah, you heard me say it. Perfect is one of the lowest vibrations because we cannot obtain it. It is low vibration. So release perfection. Release it. Flossom. Blossom. Flaws. Awesome. Flossom. It's works it. It's like the messy action word. It created so much movement for me and so much empowerment and beauty and like, yes. Flossom. The more we accept, the more we create that fertile ground, the more we create the foundation that we need to grow from. That is all the inside stuff. And it creates that seeing because we believe in who we are. We know who we are. And we move from that place with authenticity, with empowerment, with light, shine, and bright, all of it. And it is incredible. So that is my wish today. My wish is that you get to see you for you in all how beautiful you are. Because you are unique and incredible and amazing and all of those things. And when you can see it in yourself and love it and accept it, you begin to move things in a magical new way. So let me leave it there, my friends. Let me leave it there. Thank you again to Connie. Thank you. You were everything that I needed and more the other day, and I am so, so grateful for you and your gift. Thank you. Yeah. It's that Meghan Trainor song about, I don't remember the exact words, but she has a song about thank you for being me. And I'm going to thank me for being me today. And I hope you thank you for being you today because you're pretty awesome. So am I. And we're awesome together. So until the next time, my friends, from my heart and soul to yours. Bye now.